TC. It's your opportunity to learn more about your garden and your yard, about dealing with pests, and about taking care of the birds. You can be part of the show with your questions at 395-1450. That's 395-1450. And now, from DeBrine Seeds on Washington Avenue in Zeeland, here's the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
And good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day we have today. Let's go outside. Thank God for the beautiful, wonderful day He's given us. I think there might even be some rain in the forecast for like Monday or whatever. I think that's what I heard. Arlo doesn't know. She doesn't do the weather anymore. But so I think I read that on the extended weather on WHTC.com. But so let's just be thankful. Let's go out there when morning gilds the skies. My heart awakening cries, may Jesus Christ be praised. This is one of those days. I'm sorry, I thank you for rain too, God, but I love these days even better. Going to remind you that the phone lines are open, 616-395-1450, 616-395-1450. There's no 14 on the phone number dial, so 1450 is the number to call if you have a question. I'm going to remind you that I am still sending stuff down to Puerto Rico. I've got probably about 4 boxes right now. I'm going to probably send it at the end of the week, but I'll take any of your expired or drugs that you did not use, the doctor gave you, and you didn't use them. I know you can't return them anymore. I will gladly take them and send them down to Puerto Rico. Most of even your human drugs can be translated to animals. So please, please, please just drop out, doing a little housekeeping and what in the world do I have these here for? I'll gladly take them. I'll take flea and tick medication. I'll take heartworm. I'll take antibiotics. I will take, if you've got KMR or Espalac, the nursing stuff for dogs and for puppies and kittens, I'll gladly take that. Whatever, heartworm meds, I will gladly take all of that. Bandage materials also. Just don't get it too big because I have to ship it down there. So, and I would be extremely happy about that. And then the next thing is it is this time of year already. It is August. I am looking for pictures of your pets for the 2024 DeBrine Pet Calendar. So, if you've got a cute picture of your dog, cat, puppy, kitten, gerbil, iguana, horse, goat, whatever you've got, please email them to me at debrineseed@gmail.com. That's DEBRUYNS as in Sam, EED @gmail.com. Or you can bring in the original pictures to DeBrine's. I'll quickly scan them in for you and give them back to you. A scanned picture or a printed picture, they don't turn out as well, and I want the biggest and the sharpest image of your pets that you can possibly send me. That would be wonderful. So thank you in advance for that. Every year I get a pretty good turnout of people's pets. Dan sent me pictures of his pets. I've had Ben always sends me a picture of his dog. So it's always been fun. I enjoy doing this. This is one of my happy things I do. Yes, Arlo?
Do you accept pictures of rats? I have 3 pet rats.
Of course, if they're your pets, I would love to have a picture.
They're quite cute as well.
Okay, I would love to have a picture of them. That would be wonderful, or 2 or 3, whatever you have. You have what is it, a gaggle of rats? I don't know, a tribe of rats?
I have no clue what a group of rats is.
Yeah, I have not a clue either, but that would be nice. I've never had a rat or a mouse in there. I've had gerbils and guinea pigs, and I've had goldfish already too. So whatever your pet is, I would love a picture of that. Snakes I'm not fond of, but if it's your pet, I would take a picture of it. So yeah, and it's kind of fun when they're doing something cute too. So it's always, I should have a contest to see whose picture is the cutest, but I don't do that because I think they're all adorable. So they all get in, and then in the middle I have the centerfold with everybody's pictures on them. So yeah, it's a fun calendar, fun to do. we can get those pictures in August here, maybe I can get to it in September. And I'll tell you, by the 1st of October, everyone's coming into DeBrine's. Do you have the calendars yet? Do you have the calendars yet? No, I don't have them quite yet, but I will work on them, and I usually have them at least before Thanksgiving. So if you want to do and this is a, and I do this kind of as a, if you send in a picture of your pet, you obviously get a free calendar. But if you need more, it's a donation to Island Dogs and Save a Gato. So it's always kind of fun. I can always send them a couple $100 that I've made and from calendars. So it's kind of fun to do this. And yeah, people, it's a free will. I don't care. You don't have to give a set amount. You can give $1 if you want to give a calendar, but it's a donation to a good charity. I give all of it away. I don't ever keep anything. So, yeah. That would be fun. So, again, remember to get your pictures of your pets over to me at DeBrine Seed, and I will get to it. I am doing the seed testing right now. I do this every year. It takes me like 4 months to test all the seeds at DeBrine's, but I've started with the lettuce. That's in pre-chilling right now before we start our tests in earnest on Monday. But, yes, it keeps me busy, but I'll find time to do the calendar. Just a reminder, on Wednesday, August 9, between 6 and 7:30 at the Windmill Island Gardens Pavilion, there is going to be an MSU Extension, one of the 2023 Smart Gardening courses, and it is going to be with Rebecca Finneman, and she is going to be talking about gardening on the straight and narrow, and she is going to be talking about how those narrow spaces, those little things by the side of the driveway or by the garage, how to design that, what to plant there, whether it's shady or sunny, or even like that strip between the sidewalk and the street, what to put there so it looks nice. It's those hard to take care of places. She's going to talk about that. That should be fun. There is a small charge for it. It's $10 per presentation. Well, there was a couple of more, but it's $10, and you have to register by going to events.anr.msu.edu/smartgardening, or just get on MSU Extension, look for the events thing. It's a great big button, and then put Windmill Island on there, and it will come up, and you have to pay. There's only so many people that can fit in the pavilion there, so do get your name in. You can register up till the day of the thing, which is Wednesday, August 9, between 6 and 7:30. So that will be fun. And they're also doing, this is a whole different thing, but if you've ever wanted to be a master gardener, when I did the course, it was so many years ago, and it really was no big deal. You just did the course and you took the test, and I believe we even took the test home with us, and we did it that way. I didn't think there was any way you could possibly fail it, but they're doing so many more things. So the MSU Extension is presenting Foundations of Gardening, and you have to register now to secure your spot. It is an online 10-week course designed for gardening enthusiasts who wants to understand how to create beautiful, productive, and sustainable gardens for personal use, a business or a community or whatever. And it is also the first step to becoming an MSU Extension Master Gardener. So if you want to become a Master Gardener now, you got to take this Foundations of Gardening course. It's online, 10 weeks. Units are comprised of readings, online activities, videos, and a 2.5-hour live virtual lecture. So, yes, they're not kidding about this. This is going to be, and there are tests. Passing the course requires material completion and achieving an 80% or better score on the units and the final exam. But if you don't really want to go to get the Master Gardener certificate later on, if you want to become a Master Gardener, you do have to pass the course. You can take this class and not do the tests. And just for your own information, it would be a wonderful thing. It would be kind of a little notch in your belt that you're kind of understanding it. Or like me, who already did it a long time ago and never did anything like this, it'd be kind of fun to just to kind of see what you know, what you remember. Be a good thing. It is, let me see, what's the cost? It doesn't say what the cost is on my thing. I'll find that out. But you have to, you can go again to MSU Extension and look under events and sign up for that. And actually the resources, if you signed up, the resources of this lecture will be available online for you afterwards. So there's a lot of stuff you can download that they'll give you. So I think it sounds like a really exciting thing. It's 10 weeks of your time. It doesn't tell me when it starts. I think it's in September. But again, Foundations of Gardening at MSU Extension. If you want to become a master gardener, you have to take it and you have to pass the tests, but you don't have to take the tests if you're just kind of doing it for your own information. And yeah, you're kind of like me. I kind of like taking classes like this again and seeing what I can learn and seeing how I can keep my mind going. So that's kind of fun too. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, that is coming up. And you can register up until September 1. So seats are limited, they say, so register now to secure your spot. Okay, now let's go on to what's going on at DeBrine's right now. And I'll tell you, it is 2 words, grass seed. It is a big thing. It's August. It's some nights it's feeling a little bit cooler than it was there in July, but don't let that fool you. We still have some hot days coming, I'm sure. But everybody's thinking about putting in a lawn, repairing their lawn from this summer. The summer was hard on the lawns. So grass seed is the number one thing that's going out the door right now at DeBrine's. I think I still would wait to put it down till probably the mid of the month. But yes, grass seed. We've got a huge selection of grass seed. Sunny, Sun and Shade, Wear and Tear, State Roadside, Premium, Athletic, Fast Grow, Contractors. We got a lot of different varieties of grass seed. We'll find something that fits your spot, your conditions, whatever you need. We can help you with that and help you figure out how much you need to. That's always a good thing. So, yes, we will help you out with that. But, yes, I'm up in the office and I'm trying to do something up there, and all I see is grass seed bags coming up on the register this morning. And I'm thinking, and there's more grass seed and more grass seed and more grass seed. So, yes. And the best part about it, the grass seed prices are down from the spring, but it's especially down from 2 years ago when we had all the fires and everything. So grass seed prices are a great price right now and a great value. We have to stop and take a break, but we will be right back after these messages. All right, we are back. We were talking about grass seed before, and the phone lines are open if you need to call. 616-395-1450, 616-395-1450 is the number to call. Talking about grass seed, we've got it available, no problem. We've got a couple of great sales this week. One of them, and it's only good until 3 o'clock today, is Milorganite is on sale for $9.98 a bag. So if you want some Milorganite, and it's a great fertilizer to put down in the summer, it's got some iron to help green things up. It's a organic thing, so you're not going to burn your lawn, even if it does get hot out. So this is a good thing to put down. And it covers about 2,500 square foot per bag, and it's $9.98 right now. It had been $11.98 or $12.49 or something like that. So it is a good value right now. So Milorganite until 3 o'clock, until we close this afternoon, is on sale. So get that. Also, Greenview Lawn Food, if you need a 15,000 bag of Greenview Lawn Food, can put that on sale for $32.98. It's normally $40, so that's a great price too. It's a great turf builder type fertilizer. Again, if you want to get something down, help green it up. And we all need help with our lawns greening things up. There's always little spots everywhere. So those are two things that are on sale right now. Upcoming, keep this on your calendar. We just got, we're getting a load of, I just arranged the transportation of the Cole's hot meats and Cole's hot seeds. That's the bird seed that's covered with cayenne pepper and different peppers on it. So you can put it in your bird feeder, and the squirrels don't like it, but the birds don't have taste buds, so they can eat it with no problem. And it's also a good source of vitamin A and C for them. So that's coming up. We should have a good deal on it because we're getting quite a bit of it. So again, the Cole's hot meats and hot seeds. Check this space next week. We'll see what the price is going to be, but that's coming up. That's probably going to be the next big sales. So keep that in mind if you want to do it. And yes, folks, Butterball. I'm going to get this right. Butterball, the store cat, went to the vet for his annual checkup, and it appears that he gained 3.5 pounds over the course of the year. So he is now on a forced diet of 1/2 cup of dry food a day, and that is it. So the poor little guy is just absolutely starving, and he's being very vocal about that.
I guess he really is a butterball, huh?
He is a butterball. So he sent out an SOS on Facebook for cat treats, but don't believe him there. He can get, what I've been doing for cat treats is I give him a different flavor of dry cat food. And if he has 10 of those, little pieces of those a day, then I take 10 pieces of cat food out of his dish that has been measured out for him. He seems to be doing just fine. He was out playing this morning in his little tunnel, so and with his little laser light. So we are doing aerobics with Jan. So we'll get that weight off him. We're sorry, Butter, that you gained so much weight, but people come in and want to give him something to eat, and you can. We've just got dry cat food that you can give him, which he loves. So it's not like something that you're giving him that, oh yeah, this is in my bowl. It's not something that's ever in his bowl. So he loves this stuff. So he'll get by, and hopefully I'll give you updates on how he's losing weight. If he's losing weight, I don't know. He's alone in the store all night long. Heaven knows what he gets into when he's there. So all the Friskies cat treats, we still have them. Some lady bought Friskies cat treats yesterday for her cat. And of course, Butter heard her, and she's one of his favorite people. So he came downstairs, and she opened up the bag of cat treats and gave him some. So he needed to work that off yesterday afternoon. Poor little guy. But yes, he's had a couple of visitors already today. He loves, he's got a couple of little girls that he just loves when they come in because they just sit and pet him, and he just kind of eats that up. He's a little attention sponge that he is. And yes, he just keeps talking. My goodness, the whole way to the vet and back, he howled. I have never heard a cat howl as loud as him, and he talks at the store, but he never howls. And Ken and I were singing in the car to try to make it, and I was kind of embarrassed to bring him in. No one's wanting to listen to this howling cat. The second he walked in the door there, he was quiet. Not a word out of him until we got back in the car and we're going home, and then we started the howling all over again. It was I don't know. I mean, oh, I'm in the car again. I guess I got to scream bloody murder. So, yes, he was not harmed, even though what he said, he was trying to tell everybody he was not harmed in all of this. So we have to stop and we have to listen to the news, I think, and there's other wonderful things. But we'll be back with the garden show after that happens. And we're talking about hairdos from the 1980s. That's kind of an interesting subject. And now Arlo wants to see pictures of me from back then. But I didn't ever have one of those hairdos, so sorry. And I didn't ever really have a what's that thing when you have short in the back and short in the front and long in the back? I didn't even do that.
Is that a mullet?
Yeah.
I actually used to have a mullet like a couple years ago.
I didn't think that looked that bad back then, but I don't know.
I've seen some pretty bad looking mullets.
Well, tastes change. When I grew up, everyone had avocado or green or Harvest Gold appliances in their kitchen, and nobody would think of that anymore, although I thought they were kind of pretty back then. I didn't think, I have the stainless steel. Well, I've got wood paneling over a lot of my appliances at home, but otherwise, like my microwave and oven are stainless steel. It gets too many fingerprints and gets too dirty. I'm sorry, I would rather have the paneling over that, or maybe something black would be good. Maybe that's the next one that's coming in. Okay, enough of appliances. We are talking about what's going on at DeBrine's right now. Phone lines are open, 616-395-1450, 616-395-1450, the number to call. Food plots. Everybody's thinking about food plots. This is the time of year to put in turnips and for the deer right now, and the radishes for the deer. So if you want to think about that, that is this time of year. But people are really stocking up. The peas that go in the ground in the fall, they're stocking up on those, and oats. We have the Trophy brand oats. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the oats that everybody wants for their deer. We have that in stock right now. We just got a bunch in, so time to plant that. And we've got a great stock of everything. The guys have been bagging a lot of the stuff all week long, so we've got it all ready for you. So food plots, no matter what you want, we think we've got it. So get that in. Garden seed, my goodness, there's some people that are coming in due for their fall gardening, and you can put in things like peas, spinach, lettuce, things like that. You can put in for a fall harvest. You'll still get some peas. I like to pull out my beans once they're done and put in peas. You don't get as big a harvest in the fall as you do in the spring, but you get something, and you don't have to worry about bugs or anything like that. So it's kind of fun to do that. Otherwise, if you are, the beans are going south right now or whatever, pull them out. Make sure you pull out all the stuff that came with it, like if any fruit or beans dropped on the ground, pull those all out of there. Get all the weeds out of there too. Put it on the compost pile or get rid of it, and clean up your garden as things go. My garden is still going strong. I still got lots of beans going. And my onions are still growing. Now they haven't fallen over, and my peppers are doing wonderful this year. Even though the cat's sitting on them, they're still producing peppers. So, hey, and I did so many peppers last year. I really didn't need any more peppers this year. I was hoping they wouldn't produce much, but they're doing good. So hopefully your gardens are doing well also. I had 2 bean beetles on my yellow beans, and I picked those off. Those are those kind of fuzzy looking yellow beetle type things. Easy to pick off. I threw them in a cup of sudsy water, and they were toast. But I just had 2, so, and I don't know where they come from. Nobody else gardens around me. Where the world where did the bean beetles find my beans? And nobody around me is doing beans, so I don't know. But look out at your plants. Check them. Check your tomatoes, obviously, for those hornworms. We've got a lot of people coming in for those too, that their plants have those. We can dust. If you've got worms, you can dust it with BT, and you can still harvest. So right away, that's something to think about if you've got those sorts of things. So yes, check your plants in the garden. This is not the fall yet. They still have lots of bugs out there right now. The Japanese beetles are quieting down, thankfully. They're laying their eggs in your lawn to go into grubs in the fall. It's a little late to put anything down. It's got to be, the season long has to be in the ground, watered in well before this happens. I mean, you'd still get some benefit out of it. Not all the beetles have laid their eggs yet, so you'd still get some benefit. So if you haven't done the season-long grub control, you might want to think about getting it in really quickly now. And that would be good. I went out and looked at my zinnias. That humid weather that we had a week and a half ago. Okay, I've now officially got powdery mildew on my zinnias. I hate that. Spray your plants. You can do a fungicide on them. It will prevent it. It doesn't cure it. For powdery mildew, that's that white stuff. Looks like baby powder was sprinkled all over your plants, but it doesn't come off. You can use, as a fungicide, you can use milk. Just take regular milk. Don't take skim milk. Regular milk, mix it half and half with water, and you can spray your plants with that. That will prevent more powdery mildew from happening. Works well. You don't need to, do one of the fungicides on it. The milk will work just fine on that. It doesn't work on blight or anything like that. But if you have powdery mildew, the milk will work. Half and half with water, and make sure that you use regular milk, not skim or 1% or 2%. It needs to be whole milk that you need to use for that. But that works. What else is going on? Oh, the yellow jackets are congregating. People are finding them in the ground. They are finding them. I've had 2 people bring in pictures of bees swarming on trees, and they think they need to call the beekeeper in to pick them up off the tree. And I take a look at it, and they are yellow jackets. And I asked Mr. Lamb, our resident bee expert, what to do, because he said most of the time when they call him, it is yellow jackets, not real like honeybees, which he will gladly come out and get. I said, well, what do you tell them to do? How do you spray that? And he goes, get a hose. If you can get a hose there and get a strong enough hose, you can just hose them right on down. And once they get off the tree, they're apart from each other, and they're usually kind of lost, and that's fine. He said, but don't stand too close to that. That's all. Otherwise, you're going to get stung. Otherwise, you can spray it or just let them be. They will just kind of, and especially if they're making a paper nest, you can just take a garden hose. It works really well if you can get a powerful enough spray on it. So that's one thing to do. Okay, Arlo is throwing signs at me. I have to shut up now for the last break of the term. So we will be back with the garden show right after she quickly loads the commercials. Okay, we are back. We're talking about poor little Butternut and just being so terribly hungry on his half a cat cup of dry food a day. That's all he gets, but he's doing well. He also gets one little treat, those churro treats in the morning. He gets one of those, and believe me, before it was kind of hit or miss whether he ate it. He eats that right now with no problem. Just sits down, eats it right away. Only we do that only because our last cat, Butternut, got a little churro treat with his pills in it in the morning and in the afternoon, and that little guy would come up on my desk and kind of remind me that, oh, it's time to give me my treats, and he loved it. So this little guy gets them in the morning, so that's his treat in the morning. And a lot of time he'd have it yet in the afternoon, and he'd kind of clean it up. But now we eat it right away. We're starving, I guess. I don't know. Okay. What else is going on at DeBrine's? People are coming in with little samples of their sod, and they've got grass that's dying in it. That is the Poa Anna dying off in it that germinated last spring. You need to pull that out right now. It doesn't have much of roots, and get down grass seed. And we have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on the Garden Show.
Yes, good morning. I was just wondering, I got or bought, it's called the L.A. Dreaming hydrangea.
Okay.
And it had flowers on it, but they were pretty sad looking. Now, am I supposed to be pulling those out, letting them die on their own and come back, or how do I take care of this? It's so pretty, different colors.
Oh, that's kind of fun. You know what? When it's got it's still different colors on the bush, this is the best time to trim your hydrangeas. And you know what? You get the added bonus of being able to trim them and take your flowers in the house and enjoy them. I know Ken's church had this sweet little thing. I thought this was so sweet. At the end of the church, they said, if you want to go out and, pick all the flowers off the hydrangeas, because we need to trim them, you might as well take them home and enjoy them. And I thought, well, what a great idea. So, yeah, get out there and trim them back right now. And they're going to need to be fertilized this fall, so they'll be a little more happy. And what color are the flowers, basically?
Well, I've got a blue one, a pink one, and like a pinkish with white.
Okay. The pink one needs to have some lime put around it, and the blue one needs to have some aluminum put around it. But we've got that stuff at the store, so we can help you with that, what you need to put on, and what kind of fertilizer that you need on your hydrangeas. And that will need to be done this year, but this fall. But, yeah, pick them right now. You can go back on the stem as far as you see. There might be like a little node on the little bump on the stem. That's next year's bud, so you can cut it down to that. All of your blossoms.
So those should be cut down every year then, because I've seen some that are really big at their houses. And I'm thinking, why hasn't mine? Because I have another one that's just fully plain pink, and that one hasn't been growing, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be cutting it or just letting it get bigger or what.
Well,
I'd like it to get bigger.
Yeah, you need to kind of stimulate it. It's only going to bloom on new wood, so you need to stimulate it by cutting it down a little bit. So that will help it. And fertilizing it. Are they in the sun or the shade or what?
It's on the, it's in the morning, it's in the shade. And in the evening, it starts to get a little bit of sun.
Okay. As long as it isn't in the sun in the hot some part of the day, it should be fine. But so, yeah, just trim them up a little bit right now and then get the fertilizer on them in the fall.
Oh, okay. Because, the flowers just didn't look good anymore. They look really dry and stuff. Yep. And I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah. You can cut them off and you can dry them. You can enjoy dried flowers. Hydrangeas are fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, and I will stop to get whatever I need from you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And do we have another caller on the line? Good morning. You're on the Garden Show. Nope. Phone lines are open now. 616-395-1450, 616-395-1450. And if you've got hydrangeas and they're still blooming, cut them off and enjoy them in the house, and then you can cut off the hydrangea, trim them, and kind of rejuvenate them for next year. So that's always a good thing. But also fertilizing in them in the fall is a good thing also. We're sending out an awful lot of soil tests right now. People want to check their soil. Maybe they haven't gotten as good of a harvest in their garden as they wanted to, or maybe their lawn's kind of been yucky and they want to know what they need to add. It's a wonderful thing. We've been sending them out every day. We send them out to A&L Labs down in Indiana. Usually the results come back in a week. Costs $15, but it's a good baseline. Basically what your soil is at. It's always a good thing to know pH and magnesium, calcium, and all the macronutrients also. So it's always good to know that. We'll go over the results with you and tell you what you need to add or what you need to do. But you get recommendations right on the soil test too. So, but we've been sending out a ton of them, and mine is a wonderful thing. The Poa Anna, yes, dying out in the lawn. Rake out those. The Poa Anna is a annual bluegrass, and down south they use it. When their Bermuda grass lawns go down, they use that, and it's not good up here. And we have another caller on the line. Good morning. You're on the Garden Show.
Yes, good morning, Jan. How are you?
I'm well. How about you?
I'm good. I have a question about the hydrangeas. My hydrangeas this year they were getting a little bit in bloom, and then all of a sudden in the middle of it they would get brown.
Oh, got too hot.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
I wasn't sure. And also, too, these are the hydrangeas that usually they'll turn one color, and then in the fall they'll start to turn another color.
Yep. Oh, I love those.
Yeah, and they're very mature bushes, so it's almost like they're almost like past the prime of where they're planted at. They've overtaken the area that they don't have enough room, and the soil there is just not enough for them. I think sometimes it's just sometimes you just have to either cut them down and start fresh again, or make the area bigger. And it's kind of like anything with landscaping. It gets overgrown over time.
It gets overgrown, yeah. And sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and maybe take some out or trim them back. And you're going to sacrifice some of the blooms next year, but probably trimming them back this fall is the way to go.
So what do you mean trimming them back this fall? You trim them back all the way down?
Well, you can. I wouldn't do more than a third of the bush in any one year, but take the oldest looking branches and cut them down right to the ground. Keep the newer, younger branches going.
It is so overgrown, though, that it's just the area that they're in. When they first started, it was beautiful, but now it's just like the area just not. So that whole landscaping in that whole area needs to be redone. So it's just kind of one of those things where I think we're just going to have to eventually
bite the bullet. Yes, I did that a couple of years ago, and that was not fun.
No, but the blooms that we've had over the years with these have been beautiful. But I think they needed to spread their wings.
I know, and they only last just so long.
I know.
And
all right. Well, thank you so much.
Yep.
You have a good day.
Yep. You too.
All right.
Bye-bye. Yeah, remember that they only last just so long, and then once they start looking bad, you got to start thinking either trim them up, divide them, do something. Fall is a great time to dig them out and divide them, like your hostas or your perennials. Dig them out, divide them up. If they get too crowded, and really it might look a little sparse next year, but this is the time to sit there and think about what you're going to take out. I know it is expensive to put in all new shrubs. They're not cheap. But I did that a couple of years ago. It still looks fine. I'm trying to keep everything trimmed back so it doesn't get quite so overgrown in that one area. But yes, you might be thinking about doing that, digging them up and dividing in September. It's still a little warmish out to do that. The roots don't like to be, especially if you did it during the hot part of the day. If you did it maybe in a cool morning or in the evening when it's cooler, you might be able to do it now, but it'd be safer to dig them up in the fall And again, sometimes you just have to pull out the whole thing and start all over. Hate to say that, but that sometimes that just happens. So, yes. The mosquitoes, some areas have them. Remember that they do carry some diseases like Eastern equine encephalitis, West Nile. There's another one out there, Johnson something or another, that a couple of people caught from mosquito bites. And remember, ticks are still out there too, and they spread ehrlichiosis and the Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and of course Lyme disease. So if your animals are outside, do be careful. Make sure that they are vaccinated. If you've got horses, make sure they're vaccinated. Eastern equine encephalitis is they never really truly recover from that. They're not a good horse anymore afterwards. It really does a number. So you don't want your horse to get that. Make sure they're vaccinated and up to date on their vaccinations. That's all I can say. It's if you aren't, it's your own fault. Many a horse, would get it, and we used to have to shave an A in their side so people would know that they had that. It's not fun. So keep them vaccinated and keep your animals vaccinated and up to date on their tick and flea medication also. It's really important. There's too many diseases out there right now that are carried by that. Okay, I have to stop talking. It's almost time for me to go here. I'm going to remind you I will be back at 8:35 on Tuesday morning. Don't know the date, but it'll be Tuesday morning. I think it's the 8th, with Dan at 8:35 with the garden party. And then I will be on Tuesday. Is it the 8th? Yes. See, I did do that quickly in my head. On the 8th, at between 10 and 11 on Talk of the Town with Gary, with the Garden Hour. It's always kind of fun. We always talk about what's in the news and what Gary has read about whatever, animals, plants, whatever, and all of your questions too. So it's fun to do that. And again, I will be back here next Saturday and at 11:05, 11:06, whenever we start it up again. I don't know. I think I have Adam next week. Okay, so Adam usually pretty prompt, and it's usually 11:05. So yes, I will be back then next week Saturday. You're okay, Arlo. You're doing just fine.
Hey, I'm technically still new to my job here.
Yes, you are very new, and she's doing a wonderful job. So I'm very proud of her. We have trained her well here. She can answer the phone, and we can do all kinds of things here. So hey, well, I can't complain. So, but I will see you next week Saturday at 11:05, and until then, go green.
Go white.
You've been listening to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com. If you wish to hear this or other programs hosted by the Master Gardener from De Bruyn Seeds in Zeeland, check out the podcast section of our website, WHTC.com, and listen or download for free. The Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show is a presentation of 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.